Welcome back to day 2 of NADA convention in Las Vegas, Nevada. We are broadcasting live from the DrivenIQ booth, number 6943N in the North Wing. So come see us. This morning we have with us Kaylee Felio from PartsEdge. Welcome, Kaylee.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Now, the parts department is one of the biggest mysteries in the store. They're the unsung heroes, but yet without them, nothing happens. They're oftentimes overlooked and oftentimes not supported. I happen to know for a fact that Kaylee at PartsEdge here, they do some pretty amazing things to support the parts department. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we support parts managers in their day-to-day, the way that they're managing their inventories. And what we find is oftentimes parts managers know what they need to do. They just don't have the time to be consistent and more proactive, and they want to be. And we all know parts managers probably won't ask for the help, and that's what we need to focus on, how to support them. How can we give them tools to do better in their job, because they're managing one of the largest asset or cash investments at the dealership. So
I mean, the parts departments tie up a lot of money in cash, otherwise known as frozen capital. And there's so much to do, right? Everybody's struggling with the same not enough help situation. So you're constantly putting out fires. They know what to do, but oftentimes they just don't have the time to do it all. And when you're not able to look at everything all the time, things fall off.
Yeah, and it's not on purpose, you know, and that's what we bring is that consistency to be on top of it and really knowing those decisions that they're making and then what their true demand is and their true market and what's going on with their inventory. So
now, if you're a dealership out there, turnover, it happens. And how do you deal with that? A lot of times it's the parts counter person, maybe that's been there for a little while, and your parts manager or parts director has left, and now it's like, hey, congratulations, you're the new parts manager.
Yes,
right?
That happens all the time.
So you fall into the role, but you're a little nervous, you're a little apprehensive. There are some things that you may not know, and you guys are experts in kind of outlining a process.
Yes.
And then the follow-up piece of it.
Yeah, the important part is the follow-up of it. You know, you can outline a process, but you have to be consistent with that process and making sure.
Whoa! Did you say consistent?
I think I keep saying that, but yeah, it's consistent.
Consistent?
Yeah.
It's the biggest secret.
You have to be consistent with anything you do, right?
Everything.
So, and then just outlining that process to support them, because you know. They do fall in that position, and you kind of leave it up to them to figure it out. And why do we do that? You know,
right.
We need to support them and helping them figure it out, because it is a learning process. You're not going to learn it overnight. And inventory management is such a huge component to their job. And oftentimes, a parts counter person is really good at being a parts counter person, but they don't understand that other side of being a manager in that way. So that's what we're bringing to them.
And you help kind of paint the picture of, here's the right way to do things. Here's some proven processes. You have dealerships all over the country that you guys consult with, some of the larger groups.
Yeah.
So you have the benefit of the experience of the big guys and gals for you.
Yes.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing, because when oftentimes we'll run into a problem that seems insurmountable to us because we haven't dealt with it before. But yet, in collaborating with all these dealerships across the country, you run into these scenarios over and over.
Oh, yes. And that's all we focus on is parts. That's what we know, So, yeah, we run into those problems and we're able to have a solution because we're dealing with it every day.
We got a couple of people here. We have Kate Borowski. She's Find a Wrench, right?
Yeah, Wrenchway.
Wrenchway, yes. Welcome. And Eric from SDL. Joe and Eric just jumped into SDL studio, enjoying watching. Nice job, Paul and Kaylee. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.
So, I guess the moral of the story is you don't have to worry about being out there on your own, because there are people like PartsEdge that do this day in, day out. The consultation process. How does it take a long time, or how do you typically bring on a new dealer?
Yeah, so there is a process. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get someone set up with our process. But then we're working with them monthly, and it really depends on the parts manager and their level. Some need more support, but we're a monthly service, so we're available to them every day if they need us every day. So
you custom tailor the program depending on the needs of the store.
Exactly. Yes.
And it doesn't matter how big, small. You can scale pretty much anything.
Exactly. Yes.
Now you're making quite a splash on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, people keep saying that.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
I remember in the very beginning when we started talking, there was not a lot of content, but you're putting out some great content.
Thank you. I've taken advice from everyone, like you and people that are just, in the business for a long time and just implementing it and being consistent.
What I like about LinkedIn is that we're building a community, and certainly in the fixed ops arena, there are other people that we can reach out to, collaborate with.
Yes.
That's one of the many great things about online.
It really is. It changes the whole way that we all engage and communicate, and it's kind of sped up the process of just connecting with people.
And what's really interesting is that we take for granted what we know sometimes, but yet other people see value in what we know, and they reach out to us, and we're able to help others, and others are able to help us in this community of ours.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a great feeling. This is the first NAD I felt like I've connected with so many people, and it's all due to LinkedIn.
Isn't that cool? You walk through the convention hall and people are like, "Hey, Kaylee, how are you? I see you online."
I see you online. And I do that to people too. I'm like, "Hey, I know you."
Everywhere.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Well, wonderful. Well, Kaylee, thanks for being on, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.
Come see us at the DrivenIQ booth number 6943N. Look forward to meeting with you guys.
We got an office in Mission Valley.